Hi guys, so it's October 28th and I just returned from a screening of Michael Jackson's new movie, This Is It. As a Michael Jackson fan of many, many years, probably my entire life, a lot of you know that I've been very upset after his untimely death, and it's been very hard for me to deal with the passing of such a legend and such a superstar and coming to terms with him not being around anymore. I've made a few videos about me attending the memorial in LA and various other things, and as a fan, there's been a lot of mixed reactions about the release of this movie. I was very nervous to go see it. A couple of reasons probably echo a few other fans that I've heard, talking on the internet. They've said that it's not really fair for this footage to be released because it wasn't polished, it wasn't Michael Jackson's finished work. He's a perfectionist. He really liked to have everything 100% his way, and that these rehearsals probably wouldn't have been what he wanted his audience to see. I've also heard, that it's disrespectful because he wasn't operating at his best. He wasn't singing his best or dancing his best or putting on his best show. A lot of his family members have said that they don't support this film, and various other news outlets and things like that have said that it was just going to be kind of crudely thrown together and that it wasn't going to be a very good representation of how the show would have been. So I was kind of nervous about seeing it, though I always wanted to go see it, and I bought tickets as soon as they came out. So I just attended with an open mind. I wasn't sure if it would make me mad. I wasn't sure if it would make me sad and cry. I wasn't sure if I would be happy and dancing in the aisles. I really had no idea what to expect, but I have to say that I am pleasantly surprised at the amount of effort and the production quality, and especially with Michael Jackson's performances in the documentary and basically the concert. But the first thing that I want to say, and the first thing I want to clear up as my perception of the movie, was that Michael Jackson was at the top of his game. Michael Jackson always gives 100% to everything that he does, and during the documentary, you can definitely tell that his heart was in it. I was shocked because a lot of times when people are doing rehearsals, they don't give 100% of themselves to the performance. It's just kind of to get an idea of the sound and where you're supposed to be and the placement and the dance and the lighting and things like that. But it really seemed like he was putting on a show, from the outfit changes to the way that he sang to the way that he danced. I have to say that the critics are 100% wrong. Michael Jackson looked well in this documentary. He looked healthy, he looked happy, he looked vibrant, he definitely could dance. Michael Jackson has not lost the ability to dance. For the past 5 years, people have been trying to say that Michael Jackson had lost the ability to dance like he used to. Well, in This Is It, you can tell that he is on the top of his game with dancing. He has not lost a step. He is keeping up with the 20-year-olds backing him, behind him. It is amazing to see. He wasn't lip syncing whatsoever. He was singing live, and he was singing well. He wasn't out of breath. He wasn't off tune. He wasn't missing a beat. The only thing in this documentary was that he was trying to preserve his voice, so a lot of times he didn't sing the really, really screamy or high notes or things like that. He was preserving his voice, but it didn't take away from the overall quality. I'm expecting people to say, oh, he couldn't hit the notes and things like that, but if they would have listened, they would have seen that, he was saying, I want to preserve my voice. And even at times he said, oh, I probably shouldn't have gotten so into that song because I shouldn't have done that with my voice. I want to preserve my voice. And the reason for that being, he wanted his performance, the real performance, to be 100% for his fans. He didn't want to waste it during the rehearsal. He wanted that performance aspect to be there when the concerts were going on for his fans that were watching. So it was very nice to see him being so concerned with the quality of everything, not just to mention his voice, but with the lighting and the music, and so many things were coming together, and he would hear one note that was a little off, and he would stop the production and he would say, okay, we need to fix this, because you don't hear things the way that the fans hear them. We don't hear things performing up here how the audience will hear, so we need to change that. His perspective was amazing. I never knew, even as a fan for so long, that so much went into putting on a concert like this, and that he would care so much about what the audience saw. So I was very impressed with that. So as far as his overall appearance, he actually looked healthier than I've seen him look in ages. Ages. I am not kidding. He looked very well. He was thin, but he's always been on the thin side. I'm so sick of people saying he was so thin, because if you look back, he's always been very lean. He just looked nice, and, you know, he sang well, and he danced marvelously, and his personality was upbeat, and he was on, completely on, even though he didn't know that the whole world would be seeing this as his final concert. He didn't have to do what he did, but that's just the kind of person Michael is, and it came together for this movie. Another thing that I wanted to address was a rumor that's been kind of circulating on the internet and on the TV lately. Apparently, Mr. Joe Jackson has said that there was a body double used in this movie, and that a lot of the scenes that you see aren't Michael Jackson. And now there's people saying that there was a body double used for intense dance movement and stunts. Well, I have to say there wasn't a lot of intense dance movement, and there wasn't a whole lot of stunts. But the ones that there were, it was all Michael Jackson. And I just pose a question to Joe Jackson. Has he ever looked at his son? Because any Michael Jackson fan, and not even a big fan like myself, but someone who's just been a casual fan, would know in a heartbeat that that's Michael Jackson. He gives off this radiance that no one can duplicate. No one. And not to mention, they're zooming in on his face and his body, and it is Michael Jackson, 100%. There is no doubt in my mind. There is not a body double used. This is 100% real Michael Jackson, and it's about as real as it's ever going to get. It is completely unscripted, behind the scenes. It is very much worth watching, and I'm disappointed in Joe Jackson and the Jackson family, who are trying to give this film a bad name, because it was amazing. And as a fan, you want to know what it might have been like had he lived and put on these concerts. As a fan, I was looking forward to these concerts so much, and knowing that so much work went into it and so much thought, and that it never came to be, but in this film, you get a glimpse of the amazing show that it could have been. And in this film, what I walked away with, and probably the best thing, was that Michael Jackson, while on stage, looked so happy. Michael Jackson looked like he was having the time of his life on the stage. He didn't look tired. He didn't look worn out. He looked renewed and refreshed, and like he was having a ball. His backup dancers and singers and his band, you know, they looked like they had such camaraderie. It was amazing to see. And what makes me feel good, and what I walk away with this film, like, above everything else, above the theatrics and above the amazing, you know, vocals and the songs and all of that, what I actually walk away with the most, and what makes me the most happy, is that Michael Jackson looked to have enjoyed his last days on Earth. And I know that he always felt at home on the stage. I know that he felt more comfortable there than anywhere else. And that really shows in the documentary. So I encourage people to go see it with an open mind, whether you're a fan or whether you're not. But it does kind of give fans this closure that he was not suffering, and that he really truly enjoyed what he did up into the very last dance step. And that is the most important thing. Aside from the tragedy, and aside from the loss and the sadness and the absolute horrific way in which he passed, one thing is certain: he never lost his passion for the music or art or for his fans. And he was happy, and he was enjoying what he did, and I'm very, very glad that he was able to do that, because it's important to me to know as a fan. So I feel like this film has given me closure, and I really, really appreciate the fact that it was released. I think that Michael Jackson would have been proud of his performances. Whether or not it's rehearsal or not, Michael Jackson would be proud of this film piece. So in that, I will go, but that is just my opinion. So hopefully everyone else enjoys it, and leave your opinions in the comments. Bye, guys.